What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Big Just LaFleur from that Facts and Cat podcast, and once again we are back, baby. And Boosie did an interview on the Breakfast Club today, man. And you know what, I thought that could have been a real productive and informative and just mind-opening interview, just turned into shit. For entertainment-wise, it's always good, but it's always weird. Trying to watch grown men who don't want to learn, who don't want to see things in a different way. It's kind of like talking to a wall. So sometimes that's just what it is. So Boosie got on there and he's saying that how basically he's trying to protect his kids from homosexuality because he doesn't want that for his kids. And it's just so many hypocritical things he said. It wasn't really no points made in there because Boosie came with the mindset, and he even said it in an interview. He said when he comes in the room, he wants to overtalk everybody because he don't want to be overtalked in the room when he comes in the room. He wants to make sure that he's the guy who runs the room. Now, while that's great and it's probably worked for him in business, this isn't really a business move. Like, y'all were there having a conversation, and I felt like it wasn't productive for him because he did too much talking and not enough listening. And then when he just kept going back to the same thing over and over again. Well, I have the right to say what I want to say. I don't think anybody disagreed with Boosie on that. What Boosie doesn't realize is people aren't saying that you don't have the right to say what you want to say, Boosie, or feel how you want to feel. But they're just trying to open up a dialogue to teach you other people's perspective, because it seemed like you don't understand other perspectives in life. You only understand Boosie's train of thought. And you weren't too sharp, you weren't too quick with anything that you said, because every time that they would just be like, okay, well, look, back in the day they would attack the hip-hop community about, guns, drugs, violence, things that you've rapped about, things that you perpetuated. So don't you think that it's kind of hypocritical for you to sit here and do the same thing to Lil Nas and the gay community that has to do with hip-hop? And he's just like, well, I can feel how I want to feel. Well, yeah, that's an answer for everything. We can always say, well, I can feel how I want to feel. But at the end of the day, sometimes we got to go into context with things, man. We trying to see, Boosie, why do you feel the way you feel? Give us a reason to show us why you feel the way that you feel. You came all the way to New York. You came all the way on the Breakfast Club. Like, we here to have dialogue. Let us know what's going on, Boosie. Why are we sitting, like, why are you so gun-ho when it comes to this gay community that you feel like you always have to speak up and say something? When nobody's attacking you, talking about how you want to beat Lil Nas' ass if he came out on the stage. This is how hypocritical he was. He said if Lil Nas come out on that stage gay at an award show, if he come out naked, if he comes out naked, he would beat his ass. They asked him, they said, well, is that just because he's gay or is it because he's naked? He said, it's just because you naked. And they said, well, what if a woman comes out? He's like, well, shit, I love my strippers. While it's funny, it's hypocritical. He's saying that he supports, you could do whatever you want, you could be gay, but then he don't want his daughter. If his daughter was gay, he ain't supporting it. She can't get married. They're trying to tell him, you can't help the way that your kids feel, Boosie. If your kids feel a certain way, then that's just gonna be what it is. And he's saying, no, I can do that. I can get my kids to feel a certain way, to have a certain type of sexuality. And he believes that, and I believe him, because he's the same person who got his 13-year-old son at the time and his nephews got their dick sucked by women that were over 18, by adult women. So he's gonna force. It's funny how he said that homosexuality is being forced into the households through music, through hip-hop, or whatever it may be. But you the same dude who's forcing sexuality, period. You getting kids dick sucked. Come on, man. And like I've said on here before, your son is out here, he got twins on the way. You talking about they ain't his. But we know your son fucking because you forcing sexuality on him. So how you know? And I just He's an interesting guy, man. That's all I can say. He's an interesting guy. I think Boosie, like I said, I think this Boosie is stuck in a certain way of life. I would say that, the world keeps spinning, but I think in Boosie's head, the world stopped spinning at a certain point in life where there were certain beliefs and people didn't grow and people didn't mature and just, open their minds up to different ways and thoughts of life. And I think that sometimes a lot of people like Boosie, they mistaken representation with, an agenda. I don't think it's always an agenda. Now, do I think there's sometimes an agenda? Maybe it is. But I think a lot of the times people just want representation. The same way he want representation, we get out there, we want representation when things happen to us in our communities, and that's what the gay community want, man. So I just think we all gotta open up our minds, Boosie. I think you gotta open up your mind, man. You can't be old and stubborn like that. But then again, man, like you said, man, you got the choice to be whoever you want to be, and that's how you want to be. So be it. But you're just gonna always run into these same problems. And next time, just come a little bit more sharp, man. I don't think he was prepared with this interview because it was so many hypocritical situations. Like he didn't look good in the interview. But I'm sure Boosie gives no fucks. Anyway, man. Shout out to that Facts and Cap podcast, man. Go on and subscribe, comment, share, talk to me, man. I'll talk back.
Subscribe for Daddy channel.